shot, they won't boo him, they'll accept him. But that might even backfire in their face because, you know, we are in an era right now where fans, and you can thank the influence of the Indies, NXT, what have you, that are more about the true blue pro wrestling that takes place in the ring. That they want a true blue pro wrestler to be champion. And what WWE has to be careful of is how and when they book Roman to win the title. Yeah, you can have Daniel Bryan endorse him. You can have Daniel Bryan endorse a guy like Ryback, but it's not going to matter in the end because if, let's say, Daniel Bryan gets the okay to finally come back, and it's around the time WWE is getting ready to finally, again, book Roman Reigns to be the guy that takes the belt off Seth, fans are going to resent Roman, and they're going to want Daniel. And all the building up and everything that you've done will backfire. Or they've done will backfire. So they got to be careful how they do this. And if they do get Daniel Bryan back soon enough and cleared to compete, maybe not compete the style he used to, but at least compete enough to where he's there, then yeah, then you know what? There's your option right there. There's your audible right there. Give the fans a Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins feud for the title. If you have to get the belt off of him and give it to somebody, there you go. And that would make a good comeback story for Daniel. And that, in a sense, would also continue that ongoing saga and feud and storyline between Daniel Bryan and the Authority. Because who better to take the belt off Seth and maybe even avoid a cash-in by Sheamus than Daniel Bryan? I mean, it could work. But again, it's all depending on how WWE gets there and when sooner or later they're going to pull the trigger to end Seth Rollins' title reign. Because like I said, right now what they're doing, whether you agree with it or not, they're building Seth up to be that chicken shit, heelish heel of a champion like they did with JBL. And they're going to make you get sick and tired of this guy being champion and waltzing around with the titles and acting all proud like he's basically untouchable, he's unstoppable, that you are just going to hope and wish, and just pray and pray they book someone to get the belt off him sooner than later. And in a sense, that's genius, but they got to go about making this booking, but they got to go about booking it in a more sensible way to where they're not undermining their champion. They're not undermining him. I mean, let's take a look at it. Audible or not on Sunday, there's probably no doubt in people's mind he was supposed to beat Sting clean. There's probably no doubt. Not saying he would have, but still it looked like in a sense he was going to. Audible or not, injury or not, it looked like they were going to do that anyway. But hold on. Again, it looked like they were going to do that anyway, but unfortunately the injury caused them to call the audible and end the match a lot sooner than later. Now, a lot of people look at the booking of Night of Champions, and they kind of look at the booking of Raw the following night, and they're mixed on Raw, but a lot of them are positive about Night of Champions. Because basically there are a lot of good stuff that came out of Raw, because it's a mixed reaction, like the Page Bomb and all that. But it's the fact that right now I think WWE's realizing they've got to pick things up. And not just because their ratings are sagging, but it's because of the fact they're noticing that the audience, even before Monday Night Football started back up again, is starting to dwindle. And they're realizing they got to do something to get that audience back. So in my opinion, if they're going to continue booking Seth Rollins as this JBL-like champion, then they need to book him, the kind of champion that you just cannot wait to see who finally gets that belt off him. They got to book him correctly to where he looks strong, but he also sees a threat when he knows one and does whatever he can to take that threat out or avoid that threat. So, to me, are they undermining him? Maybe in some ways, depending on how you look at it. Like I said, the most logical option, in my opinion, is because he was an audible at WrestleMania. It was a last-minute deal. He wasn't what Vince McMahon wanted. So maybe that might be the reason, but we don't know yet. So that's just my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it could be any of the reasons that I mentioned? Let me know down below. Comment if you like. I'm out.